action. As ByuN, obviously, this matchup is very important for him now as he's 1-1. So he's 1-1, -1 in map score as well. So again, it doesn't matter what happens here, he just must win. If he loses, he will always be behind Zaun on map score, and Zaun would advance. So ByuN just must win this series. It's as simple as that. You know, there's no map score tiebreaker situation available. That's what it comes down to. Bottom right, ByuN is our red Terran player. Top left, Clem is our blue Protoss. We drop a depot down, get settled into the front. For game number 1 of this best of 3. And the assembly just coming through. CT building from ByuN, the STV coming in. Gonna get this probe to wander up into the main base. Probe gonna nibble at the STVs for a couple of moments. And just ByuN gonna pull back. He's already gone CC first off over in the in-base, so he's gonna take the in-base expanders at CC first. So yeah, this is kind of your choice, right? So Clem actually comes out into the normal base and will maybe go to that left side base later. Not sure how strong the minerals are there. Usually minerals like that are like 10 minerals, maybe 25. Depends how safe or dangerous a position you want it to be, kind of breaking through and so on. So yeah, already kind of Clem choosing the non-in-base expansion, and ByuN taking the in-base expansion. It's kind of fun to see in-base expansions be back a little bit. It's just... I think the problem a lot of people have had with in-base expands is it does just accelerate the speed of the... In a game which is already very accelerated to the later stages, in-base expands, pocket expands as we call them, really do just kind of accelerate that a little step further. It takes some of the risk out of what is, for a lot of people, very minimal risk even, so... yeah. How can we have a massive thunderbolt in the middle of the map that doesn't show up on the mini-map? Kind of crazy, no? Mini-map, please. Please, please, please. Stargate coming up from Clem, so he's going to go into that Stargate opener. Something a little different here to kick us off. Oracle Chrono Boost and Adept coming up. Warp Gate coming around. I see Adept chilling about. Shade forwards a little bit here. And again, a couple Marines, SCVs, and the Widow Mine all coming on through. Pocket bases are okay if they're worse than a normal base, like on Neon Violet. That's actually not a bad opinion, I think. So there's like a... I think that was one of the ways that... yeah, I think that's one of the ways that we basically started to see kind of pocket expansions be balanced by making them just not as good as normal expansions. It's kind of been a little while, hasn't it? Those interesting features of the gold base. I guess you could go expand here, mine this out, and then kind of expand here as well, but obviously you're going to have to move through the slow zone to get there defensively. But it is a full gold. It's actually very interesting because later in the game, I guess you can step forward here and defend more forwards anyway. The early game, kind of running between your natural and third, it's pretty miserable running through a slow zone. Like, you know, you see some people already struggling to go from natural to third base, so it doesn't seem like something you typically rush for. I like it.
Game paused.
I think it's kind of cool. Hotkey issue for our Protoss Clem. Here for a few moments. ByuN has a cold key, yep. As ByuN was just setting up the Widow Mine drop to come across the map. Couple pauses last couple of series. Still Clem's ready.
Game resumed.
And we get back into it. What is a cold key? A cold key is when your keyboard is left out in the snow overnight. And you bring it in and you try and play, but because the keys are so cold, your APM isn't as good as usual. Something like that. A harsh winter in Korea right now. Didn't even need to leave it out in the snow, actually just ByuN's room is cold. Basic TLDR, he's just making excuses. Typical Terran player. Maybe a cold keys when your hotkey doesn't work, that would make so much more sense. A couple of Widow Mines are going to unload. There isn't a third Widow Mine available too. We actually load one back up, we drop one back down. It's going to go for the one probe at the moment. There's, yeah, we never showed the third Widow Mine, right? Like, this could have always just been the two so far, so that's interesting, because I wonder if that's kind of like a, hey, Clem, you know, you think you've killed one? You know, you might not think about the fact there's one more available. So, I wonder if there's something of an idea there, as we will just talk about it a couple different times, ByuN being annoying as Clem would be as well. We'll just go for one more probe, and like I say, now you don't necessarily know 100% that there's a Widow Mine left here. But Clem sees it, because he's just paying attention, so... yeah. ByuN reveals that, going to lift up, going to sit on the side, but that's going to be pretty much denied, going to be difficult for it to come back in on half HP. And without really having the choice of bases, like over here, kind of could go here or into the main base. Now it's on the outside, it would only hit this location, so yeah, I think maybe just time to send that back home, send the Widow Mine somewhere, try and be annoying later in the game for the Medevac pad and use that later on. There's a Widow Mine right now, but it's a little bit out of position to get the Stalkers, which had Blink anyway, so we shouldn't have gone down unless Clem just was not watching at all, which is a possibility. Stalkers were just wandering across the map. So let's get back to the center. The Observer going to be coming across. Bio will gather Medevac as well. Stimpack Combat Shield. Continue to build on through. Stalker's just going to back away once again. The Bio going to come into the middle of the map. Yeah, Bio's going to get up to the top side. The Zealot Stalker going to try and come through. Some more Zealots get warped in. ByuN has a lot of units here, and as the stim happens, you're going to see a bunch of those Zealots beginning to take some hits. Just about able to hold this off, though. Gets a few more warp-ins coming through. He lost his Oracle. How early did he lose his Oracle? I feel like I missed him losing the Oracle. I just remember, I'm like, oh, this was a Stargate opening. I can't really remember the Stargate. Fire coming out over to the right. Plus to attack. The extended thermal lands continue to come in. We are just going to see the Bio stepping up. A couple of Zealots going to start taking some damage. Stalkers. Honestly, there's just not enough units here from Clem. He's on his way to Colossus that just isn't ready yet, and ByuN is very scary right now. Let's see if Clem can find a miraculous defense that he so often does in these scenarios, but it looks to me like he's a little bit overwhelmed as the Stalkers get caught in the corner. Going to turn around. Stalkers will keep dropping. The Colossus will go down in a moment, I think, and well, I mean, the Colossus, I think, might actually hold. The battery is there. A lot of these units are low HP now. The thing is, the only thing that's going to survive is the Colossus, and a couple of units that just got warped in. So Clem loses a lot, including 10 probes. Two upgrades coming in on the side of ByuN. A few Marines and Marauders still coming about. Medevac's just up the left-hand side. Load straight into this natural, and we have a battery that goes down immediately. Now some Stalkers in some trouble as Zealot charges up as well. I was just going to warp in, a couple more Stalkers coming up, plus one armor on the way as well. Colossus Colossus coming up, +3/+1 on the way. A couple extra gateways coming about. The army of ByuN comes up the right-hand side. Taking just a little bit of a shove here. Comes straight across, and we are going to stem up. And this is where Clem, though, is going to be a little bit better defensively. Having that second Colossus does a lot for him. Help out quite a lot. The ByuN comes back down to the center. The Medivacs and the Widowmines joining up again. Sets up Medivac's gathering. Can be seen as Alex, as Stalkers, as Sentry's coming about. EMP comes down. Just gonna see the ByuN continue to fight through. A couple of those EMPs continue to drop into place. More of the Stalkers going down. The Colossus being kept alive very nicely by Clem, but you can only keep them alive so long if everything else is kind of giving way in front of you. We're warping in Stalkers just to get some damage out. I tell you what, though, the ByuN army is low HP. Clem blinks forward to force the engagement, trying to micro with the prison because Blink's on cooldown. He does save quite a few of those units. Stalkers, the Colossus, gather again. Clem still trailing supply, definitely has been kind of run ragged a little bit by ByuN in these early stages, but surviving. And now on to 5 bases, by the way, as well. So Clem is improving and improving his situation.
Game paused.
Clem has a ping issue. Take a moment. Let's get that sorted. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Gonna double check, see if it's any better. I think we're good. Clem with 2 pauses used already in this matchup. Unbelievable. ByuN gathering. Go's gonna set up. It's gonna move through the slow zone as we have a 3-3 and the +2 ship weapons continue to come about. Marine, Marauder, Viking continue through. And army just gathering up for a little bit. And ByuN settles here. Shot fires through. Those Marauders taking a clip already. Some damage being dealt. Fire still coming up, and the Vikings getting rid of the Colossus. It's one of the scariest things that we have there, realistically, for Clem. So losing the Colossus count is dangerous. We got a couple more Disruptors popping. Gun's full base setup is good. Clem has the Prism across the map, going to find some SCVs, so we'll be able to start getting some damage dealt. Fire steps up, Colossus goes down. Is that all the Colossus? I think so. I mean, now the Disruptor's getting broken into as well. Clem did such a good job of holding his Colossus alive earlier, but in the end, he's not able to really do too much extra, as we are going to be seeing him doing a lot of damage on the other side. He's killed 34 SCVs. If he gets any sort of rebuild going, he might be okay. He's actually shutting down a lot of reinforcing units as well, because as they're popping out, he's just killing them. So I'm not going to say it's over yet. Clem with an opportunity still to hold on into this. A couple of cannons, just going to obviously try and help out here. The Zards will charge through. The cannon's now depowered. There's no way he has enough units to fight this. You're going to have to blink back with these Stalkers. He's still doing damage on the other side, but this is obviously another base. It's a bunch more probes. It's going to start to undo a lot of what Clem achieved on the other side of the map, and obviously getting knocked down to 3 base is pretty rough. He's rebuilding the 4th that just went down previously, although those Medivacs actually going to get caught here. They're out of energy as well. The Colossus shows up, but we're definitely going to need some more buffer for that Colossus, surely. There's Vikings available too, right? So we can't just... I feel like we can't just attack into this, but we are, and Clem is going to get rid of all the Vikings. He's going to chase this back. Medivacs. It's a dangerous lift up, no? Because I think Clem could have blinked to the high ground and killed the full one. Gonna get an empty one there. The other one will boost away. Clem's still down on army supply, up 15 or so workers. 23 probes went down from him in the top right. He actually saved the base. So that Nexus lives. The Nexus rebuilt on the 4th as well. The same situation we've been in all series, which is that ByuN is just ahead in army supply. So that's pretty much all he seems to be ahead in. Couple of refineries coming up, Medivacs, Marauders coming about, missile turret added on. And just the DT blinking into the base here as well. Gonna go after the missile turret even right now. Bro's casually probing up with 40 army supply. You need to, though. The biggest benefit Clem has is kind of getting up into a strong army. If you get into a strong economy, you can always kind of throw more zealots into the fray to survive, right? So yeah, the probe up makes sense. Like, it's one of the best ways he can spend his minerals right now. He doesn't think ByuN's going to come and kill him in the next couple moments, basically. Like, it's a little bit of a risk versus reward thing. I think it's the right thing. He's on the right track. Love the Stalkers. They're always going to try and target fire down the Medivacs in these fights. Disruptor actually finds itself through to a pretty good chunk of units as well. I think Clem even second-guessed the chance it was going to be able to connect so well. Pulled it back a little bit. Down on army supply, yet still moving forward to greet this army. One Colossus goes down, immediately replaced. Need a few Zealots to try and buffer up at the front as the Colossus are still firing through. And Clem is once more going to push ByuN back the other direction for a moment or two. And like I said, it's the Colossus being kept alive for so long that's given him some of the ability to do this as we take yet another base, and on we go. Some healing done. Obviously these Medivacs have been pretty drained of energy. We're fighting all the time, so they're not getting a lot of downtime to replenish that energy without just spending it again instantly. Army moving over, just seeing ourselves a little bit of motion here as the Nexus is going to be in trouble. I don't think Clem keeps this one alive. I think that one is a guaranteed loss. 4 Colossus, putting some work in, but unprotected by anything right now. 2 of the 4 go down. Some Zealots finally get there. Just don't know if it's going to be soon enough at the end of the day. Liberator pulls back, getting out of there for the moment as well. So Liberator just pulling away from that all. Begin to try and settle things down. 15 probes have fallen here already. Colossus stepping over, the Liberator going to siege in the top right corner as well. Marine, Marauder, Viking all producing. And the army of ByuN beginning to make a play up the right hand side and straight across. Fire Force gathers. I mean, ByuN has really been on the verge of, I feel like, breaking through Clem's army many a time in this game. Just hasn't quite found the final little bit, which is kind of similar to what we saw from ByuN earlier against Zaun. And in the end, that turned against him. I think this time ByuN is still going to get it. Keeps pushing up. A couple Stalkers going down. The Colossus being chased. Separate sieges on that right-hand side on the distant probes, and ByuN finally breaks through. He on antimatter. It's got hectic. It got dangerous. It got in the top 12 o'clock position. We are going to have ourselves the teal Protoss player down a game in this series. It is Clem. In the bottom right, our red Terran player is ByuN. As we get into game number 2 of this best of 3 on a 3-player map. Unbelievable. Honestly, I'm really into the 3-player map. I'm really into it. Like, I don't know why. I just feel like it's right now. I just feel like we deserve a 3-player map. I feel like it's cool. We should have it. For all the doodads in the middle, they are acceleration zones. So you can run through it nice and quickly. I'm not sure exactly what the logic is behind how they're positioned. Looks kind of cool though. Of course, thank you so much to Monster Energy. Haven't really mentioned them today, but they are the reason this tournament is still here. They are sponsoring the TLMC, not just the tournament, but the entire map contest portion of it as well. So yeah, go pick up a monster later today, guys. Without monster, it's a very important tournament, and so, I mean, not even the tournament aspect of it in terms of like what we're doing, but even just the fact that there's a TLMC, a map contest for map makers to make maps for, is just so important for StarCraft 2. Probably one of the most important things we've had over the history of StarCraft. So yeah, really awesome that Monster has stepped in to help preserve this awesome tradition that is, like I say, just so important for our scene. Counts are coming up from Clem. Last game was that Oracle into losing the Oracle into everything else, so we'll see what we do this time around. Couple Rivers, Hellion, moving about a little bit. Now you just end up to the left-hand side again. Blink coming about, Warp Gate coming through, Robo Facility and the Gateway getting built as well. And in fact, trying to come through, trying to find some direction here. The next few moments, trying to figure out where to go. Put a mine, picking a target, just retargeting a couple times over. Going to connect just on the one probe and use the Marines Force to lift back up here as Clem chases the medevac out of there, the Raven. Oh, yep, you gotta be super careful. I do think we should just... okay, maybe it shouldn't all be dead airspace, but I feel like there should be a little bit more dead airspace. I do think that this, like, setup of, like, these barriers to kind of cordon off areas of the map because of the shape of the map have never ended well. They almost always end in someone getting stuck on them and getting caught. I feel like a little bit more leeway, like, behind a base or so would be nice, because, yeah, it feels bad to lose a game to stuff like that, right? Reaper's going to get through. A couple probes going down so far. Reaper's going to get a third worker. And Clem on this other side is putting some pressure on too. And right now, ByuN's just not minding off his natural. So Clem is actually going to blink on the siege tank here. As it tries to siege up, he will eat a shot. And he had a lot of marine fire during that as well. So it's going to be a little painful right away. I'm just going to be seeing the charge coming up. The siege tank and the marine coming through as well. Stalker's still sat out the front here just for a little bit. Stalker's coming again, but they didn't get rid of the tank straight away, so again, tank lived for a couple extra seconds. Probably wasn't too impactful in the end. Actually did a good job of not firing a full volley of Stalker shots at it a second time, just the one Stalker to finish it up in the end. That's nicely done. Raven just gonna... I mean, there's not a lot of dead airspace behind the natural at all. In fact, there's none behind the natural. I'm gonna come right across between the natural and the third base to really hang that Raven somewhere it can kind of survive. Fun, you can actually blink across there. No, ByuN! He's rallying it in a bad way. Like, he could have sat it in the middle there, I'm pretty sure. But because he's, like, clicked it into the corner, I think that's the problem. Because you're clicking it into the corner, it's bugging out because it's just natural to click in the corner and not be very exact with where you click it because you're just clicking it to the edge of the map. And on 99% of maps, that's absolutely fine. That's not okay in this situation because the corners of the map can't be reached because of the blockers and because that interacts in a weird way. Yeah, it's a little bit strange. A couple of mules drop down into the natural. Stalker's just sat out the front, hanging about for the moment. Bio firing, a couple of Stalkers taking shots. The raid's still coming through, so ByuN's army getting more powerful here as the +1 the combat shields will finish shortly. It's rid of a siege tank. We've done a fantastic job, if nothing else, of getting rid of tanks today. Stepping up, just going to get that pylon already. I wouldn't mind if a few Marines begin to unload. That's a great defense from Clem. I mean, the medevacs will not do much. The bio at the front, trying to get across toward the natural, but it's going to take a little while longer to still get there. I feel like Widow Mines have been fantastic today. So many Widow Mines hitting dead center on Zealots and splashing beautifully. Clem is, I think, still in control of this. Yeah, ByuN's gonna say GG. As for a moment, it's like, is ByuN getting anywhere? And the answer was just not really. The Colossus is firing in the back fairly freely. Doing a very good job there for sure. As we get ourselves ready for a game 3 then. So final map today. This is the Monster Energy's TLMC 20, our 13th edition of the WardiTV map tournament portion of this event. Still crazy to me that we've done 13 of these now. Alright, game 3. What do ByuN and Clem have in store for us? Clem mixed up a little bit so far. Twilight opener, Stargate opener. Do you feel like he's the most experienced and comfortable when he plays the Stargate? Sorry, the Twilight? Nope, not the definitely not the Stargate. Not what I was thinking at all. So I'll see if that comes up here as we get settled down. Ready to begin. Probe comes through. SCV pulls away. I'm just going to see the other SCV coming over. Going to jump onto the probe as well. Pulls back again. Nexus, Sabico continue to come through. Factory coming about. Again, the refinery coming through. Get that reactor on the way as well. It's just going to get settled down for a few moments. Deb steps over, again, Twilight Council going through, a couple of probes, Stalkers, the Wolf Gate, all coming about right now. I think he's going to be there chasing the Adept the other way. Blink coming up. Marines telling him to continue to chase down. The Adept taking some damage. And Blink. Gateway, robo facility going through, get ourselves the battery in production. The Adept's going to chase into the natural, and we will see the Marines going to go hunting. Adept chases back out onto the right hand side. Oh, use the healing zone. Oh, don't go use the healing zone. Clem. So close. I thought he was going to do it. He was like going in that direction. I was convinced. But it's not meant to be. Not today. Can you imagine that? 2 healing zone usages in one day? Holy goodness, that would be bonkers. That would be crazy. How does the healing zone work? You stand in it and you get healed. Clem could show us here, but he chooses not to. As sorry, the 8 workers go down. Whoops! 8 workers go down, and now Clem's out of position. So the 3 Hellions get 8 workers, and now the Marines come back in. They're targeting the battery, I think. Oh, Clem's just going across the map. Ooh, we're gonna lose a lot of probes here as well, for sure. Stalker shows up. Oh yeah, we get rid of the battery. Now we're gonna get rid of 6, 7, 8 additional workers, 9 additional workers. Siege tank on the high ground, gonna make it tough for Clem, but you pretty much got, like I say, pull the trigger right now. These stalkers will keep on firing through, a couple of SCVs dropping. Orbital Commander lifts off and peels away to the side. A couple more of these Marines. Plus the Viking is going to get there. The Observer gets taken out. Again, charge coming through from Clem as well. Yeah, if you just go to the healing zone, guys, they will just heal you to full HP. It will just take a few moments and you're going to be good and ready to go again. This healing zone is kind of fun because it's not in the middle of nowhere. The past healing zones we had in TLMC maps were very conservatively used. They were like right far off in the corner. Like this healing zone on other maps would have been like here, you know, or something. So being here, it's a little bit more reachable. It's a little bit more attainable to actually get to and get healed up on. Like I said, I was saying it earlier, but I think Blink Stalkers are one of the best things for a healing zone because Blink Stalkers can obviously trade, get away on low HP, and then get healed up and then be good to go again, you know? They're units that naturally get saved on low HP all of the time. And they have the ability to get to a healing zone and get back in position quickly too. Observer just hanging around, Stalkers hanging about as well. Tank settling, just have ourselves a +1 and the charge coming through, Stimpack, Combat Shield, and +1 coming up on the other side. Viking coming up, just going to be seeing our upgrades continue to come through. I'm just going to fight, Stalkers get turned away. Viking lands. And get rid of a couple of probes again for all the damage Clem took early. And he is in a position here where I almost still want to believe, but then I look at the army, it's like, it's just zealots, man. And you can siege these tanks up right here. Feels like a rough spot. I mean, Clem's going to try and come down from the other side. Tanks will finally get sieged. It took a few moments. Does the healing zone heal the base HP of the Stalkers or just the shield? No, it heals the base HP. It doesn't heal the shield. It's literally, it regens health, not shields. As the Zealots come in, that's a full wraparound. Siege tank's going to get killed. It's a beautiful fight from Clem. He has so many Zealots and ByuN gets crushed under this force of Clem as Clem comes blinking upwards and chasing this army down. Looking very good. The Zealot Stalker keeps on coming. The Bio keeps getting chased away. We don't really have anything left here as ByuN, apart from a bunch of hurt units that can hide behind a CC. There's a couple of mortals show up. The extra range units that can do well here are going to be extremely good, and the force field going to make it difficult. ByuN says GG. He gets crushed on the push. All the damage he did early. He just did not have the follow-up. Clem with so many